Welcome to the channel. Here, we honor the legendary figures we've lost, but whose legacies continue to inspire us every day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the bell so you never miss a tribute. Stick around till the end, we promise there's always something meaningful waiting for you. Barry Goldberg, December 25, 1942 to January 22, 2025, was an influential figure in the world of blues and rock music. Renowned as a keyboardist, songwriter, and producer, he left a lasting legacy through his extensive collaborations with legendary artists, his contributions to iconic recordings, and his passion for the Chicago blues tradition. Over a career that spanned more than 6 decades, Goldberg's work bridged generations and genres, showcasing his extraordinary talent and dedication to music. Born in Chicago, Illinois, Goldberg grew up in an environment rich in the blues tradition. His early exposure to the genre inspired him to pursue music as a career. As a teenager, Goldberg began performing with blues legends such as Muddy Waters, Otis Rush, and Howlin' Wolf, earning him recognition as a prodigious talent. This formative experience deeply influenced his musical style, embedding the spirit of Chicago blues in his work. In 1965, Goldberg's burgeoning career took a significant step forward when he co-founded the Goldberg-Miller Blues Band with Steve Miller. The group released the single, "The Mother Song," and gained national attention with a performance on the television show Hullabaloo. While the band was short-lived, its impact was notable, serving as a launchpad for both Goldberg and Miller's careers. Goldberg's association with Bob Dylan marked another milestone in his career. He played keyboards with the Paul Butterfield Blues Band during Dylan's groundbreaking electric set at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, a performance that forever changed the course of folk and rock music. This collaboration cemented Goldberg's reputation as a skilled and adaptable musician. In 1967, Goldberg co-founded the Electric Flag with guitarist Mike Bloomfield. The band blended blues, rock, and soul, creating a unique sound that resonated with the counterculture movement of the late 1960s. Their debut album, A Long Time Comin', is considered a classic, and Goldberg's keyboard work was integral to its success. Following his time with the Electric Flag, Goldberg formed the Barry Goldberg Reunion in 1968, continuing to explore new musical directions. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Goldberg became a sought-after session musician and songwriter. His songs, often co-written with lyricist Jerry Goffin, were recorded by artists such as Rod Stewart, Gladys Knight, Joe Cocker, and Graham Parsons. He contributed to numerous landmark albums, including Leonard Cohen's Death of a Ladies' Man, the Ramones' End of the Century, and the Flying Burrito Brothers' The Gilded Palace of Sin. Notably, Goldberg played on Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels' Devil with a Blue Dress On, and was a key contributor to the legendary Super Session album alongside Mike Bloomfield, Stephen Stills, and Al Kooper. Goldberg's self-titled solo album, released in 1974, was produced by Bob Dylan and Jerry Wexler, highlighting his connections to some of the most influential figures in music. This period also saw Goldberg collaborating extensively with other artists, further establishing his reputation as a versatile and innovative musician. In the 1990s, Goldberg expanded his role as a producer, working with Carla Olson and Mick Taylor on the live album Too Hot for Snakes. He co-produced Percy Sledge's Grammy-nominated album Blue Night in 1994, which featured an impressive lineup of guest musicians, including Bobby Womack and Steve Cropper. His production work reflected his deep understanding of musical traditions and his ability to bring out the best in the artists he collaborated with. Goldberg remained active in the 2000s, touring with the Chicago Blues Reunion and contributing to projects that celebrated the blues' enduring legacy. His work with the band The Rides, which he co-founded with Stephen Stills and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, brought him renewed acclaim. The group's albums, Can't Get Enough, 2013, and Pierced Arrow, 2016, received critical praise for their blend of classic and contemporary blues-rock. In addition to his work as a performer and producer, Goldberg composed music for film and television. His theme song for the Disney Channel original movie Smart House and his contributions to the documentary *Bang The Burt Burns story showcased his ability to adapt his talents to diverse mediums. Goldberg's later years were marked by continued creativity and collaboration. His 2018 album In the Groove featured new and classic instrumentals, highlighting his mastery of the Hammond B3 organ, piano, and Wurlitzer piano. He also contributed to the 2021 compilation album Americana Railroad, which celebrated the intersection of American roots music and railroads. Beyond his musical achievements, Goldberg was deeply connected to his roots. He was the nephew of Supreme Court Justice Arthur Goldberg, and his Chicago upbringing remained a central influence throughout his life. His passion for the blues and his dedication to preserving its legacy earned him widespread respect and admiration. Barry Goldberg passed away on January 22, 2025, at the age of 83, due to complications from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. His contributions to music, both as a performer and as a producer, left an indelible mark on the industry. He will be remembered as a pioneering musician whose work celebrated the rich traditions of the blues while pushing the boundaries of the genre. His legacy continues to inspire musicians and fans alike, ensuring that his influence will be felt for generations to come. Charlotte Raven, a renowned British author and journalist, left an indelible mark on the literary and feminist landscapes of her time. Born in Streatham in September 1969, she studied English at the University of Manchester, where she became a prominent Labour Club activist. During her university years, she was instrumental in a successful campaign to remove Derek Draper from his position as Student Union Communications Officer, though they later shared a 4-year relationship. Following her tenure as the University of Manchester Students' Union Women's Officer in 1990–91, Raven oversaw significant student elections, including one where future Labour MP Liam Byrne failed to secure a position as welfare officer. She continued her academic pursuits at the University of Sussex. Raven's professional journey began with contributions to the Modern Review, where she later became the editor of its 1997 relaunch. During this time, she forged a notable but controversial relationship with Julie Burkill, which brought both personal and professional attention. Her incisive and often provocative columns regularly graced the pages of The Guardian and New Statesman, earning her recognition as a bold and unflinching voice in British journalism. However, her career was not without contention. A 2001 article she wrote about Denise Fergus and Liverpool sparked accusations of regional racism and public outrage. The backlash led to a formal acknowledgement by The Guardian that the piece should not have been published. In 2013, Raven announced plans to revive the feminist magazine Spare Rib, aiming to modernize its legacy. Although the magazine eventually launched under a different name, the project reflected Raven's enduring commitment to feminist ideals and cultural critique. On a personal front, Raven married filmmaker Tom Sheehan, and together they had 2 children, Anna, born in 2004, and John, born in 2009. Her life took a dramatic turn in 2006 when she was diagnosed with Huntington's disease, an incurable hereditary neurological disorder. She publicly disclosed her diagnosis in 2010, candidly discussing her struggles, including contemplations of suicide, and her decision to continue living after an inspiring visit to a clinic in Venezuela. Her resilience and advocacy were further exemplified when she became the first patient in the Roche-Genentech trial for the experimental Huntington's treatment tominersen in 2019. In 2021, Raven co-authored Patient 1 with her physician, Edward Wild, a memoir chronicling her journey with Huntington's disease, her participation in groundbreaking clinical trials, and the profound ways the illness reshaped her life. The book garnered critical acclaim, earning her a nomination for the Royal Society of Literature Christopher Bland Prize in 2022, which honors debut authors over the age of 50. Tragically, Raven passed away on January 22, 2025, at the age of 55 in London. Her death was attributed to a brain hemorrhage caused by complications of Huntington's disease. Despite her untimely passing, her work and legacy, marked by courage, intellect, and unyielding determination, continue to inspire and provoke thought in readers and activists worldwide. Peter John Sinfield, born on December 27, 1943, in Fulham, London, was an English poet, lyricist, and songwriter, best known as a founding member and lyricist of the progressive rock band King Crimson. Sinfield's work and influence in the music industry were immense, particularly through his contributions to progressive rock and his later ventures into pop songwriting. His lyrics, characterized by surreal imagery and themes of fantasy, nature, and emotional depth, remain iconic in the world of music. He passed away on November 14, 2024, at the age of 80, leaving behind a rich legacy of creativity and artistic expression. Sinfield's early years were marked by an eclectic and unconventional upbringing. He was born to a mother of Irish-English descent, Deidre, known as Joey or Daphne, and an absent father, Ian. His mother's bohemian lifestyle greatly influenced him, fostering an environment rich in art and creativity. For much of his childhood, Sinfield was raised by Maria Wallenda, a German housekeeper from the famous Flying Wallenda's circus act. This unique upbringing shaped his vivid imagination and early fascination with words and poetry. Sinfield attended Daneshill School in Oxshott and later Ranelagh Grammar School in Bracknell, where he discovered his love for literature and poetry under the mentorship of his tutor, John Mawson. However, he left school at 16, briefly working as a travel agent, hoping it would allow him to explore the world. Sinfield's career trajectory was as unconventional as his upbringing. After dabbling in various jobs, including working for a computer company and selling handmade goods on market stalls, he pursued his passion for poetry and music. By the mid-1960s, he was performing as a singer-guitarist in a band he formed called The Creation, which he envisioned as a blend of Donovan's introspective folk and The Who's dynamic rock energy. His early experiences as a musician and poet laid the groundwork for his entry into the progressive rock scene. In 1968, Sinfield's friend Ian MacDonald introduced him to Giles, and Fripp, a progressive pop trio that would soon evolve into King Crimson. Sinfield became the band's lyricist and conceptual visionary, contributing not only lyrics but also ideas for the band's image, album artwork, and live performances. He coined the name King Crimson, reflecting the band's ambitious and somewhat ominous artistic direction. Their debut album, In the Court of the Crimson King, released in 1969, is widely regarded as a cornerstone of progressive rock. Sinfield's lyrics on this album, such as those for Epitaph and The Court of the Crimson King, were praised for their rich imagery and philosophical undertones. As King Crimson evolved musically, the relationship between Sinfield and Robert Fripp, the band's guitarist and leader, grew strained. Sinfield's departure from the band in 1972 marked the end of an era for King Crimson. However, it opened new avenues for Sinfield, who collaborated with other artists and pursued a solo career. He worked with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, ELP, providing lyrics for songs like I Believe in Father Christmas and C'est la vie. His work with ELP showcased his ability to adapt his lyrical style to suit the band's grandiose and theatrical music. Sinfield's solo album, Still, released in 1973, further demonstrated his versatility as a songwriter and musician. The album featured contributions from various prominent musicians, including Greg Lake and John Wetton, and reflected Sinfield's poetic sensibilities. Although Still was not a commercial success, it remains a cult favorite among progressive rock fans. In the late 1970s and 1980s, Sinfield shifted his focus to pop music, a transition that highlighted his adaptability as a lyricist. Teaming up with composer Andy Hill, he co-wrote several chart-topping hits, including The Land of Make-Believe by Bucks Fizz and Think Twice by Celine Dion, which won an Ivor Novello Award for Best Song musically and lyrically. Sinfield's ability to craft emotionally resonant lyrics allowed him to thrive in the pop music landscape, even as progressive rock's popularity waned. Despite his success in the music industry, Sinfield's creative pursuits extended beyond songwriting. He wrote poetry and experimented with different forms of artistic expression throughout his life. His book Under the Sky, a collection of lyrics and poems, offered insight into his creative mind. Sinfield was also active in the literary and artistic communities, participating in events like the Genoa Poetry Festival and publishing haiku during his later years. Sinfield's personal life was as colorful as his professional career. His first marriage to Stephanie ended in divorce, and he later married a Spanish model, whom he met during his time in Ibiza. His years in Ibiza and Majorca were marked by a lifestyle of reflection, creativity, and connections with other artists. However, financial challenges and health issues, including a quadruple bypass surgery in 2005, occasionally disrupted his career. Throughout his life, Sinfield remained deeply influenced by literature and the arts. He cited writers such as William Blake, Arthur Rimbaud, and Edith Sitwell as inspirations, and his lyrics often drew from their themes of mysticism, nature, and existential inquiry. Musically, he admired Bob Dylan and Donovan, whose storytelling and poetic lyrics resonated with him and inspired his own songwriting. Sinfield's legacy is multifaceted. As a lyricist for King Crimson, he helped define the sound and spirit of progressive rock, influencing countless bands and musicians. His work with ELP and pop artists demonstrated his ability to adapt his style to different genres and audiences. Beyond music, his poetry and artistic contributions enriched the broader cultural landscape. In his later years, Sinfield lived in Aldeburgh, Suffolk, where he remained active in the songwriting community and continued to create poetry. His death in 2024 marked the end of a remarkable life, but his influence and artistry endure. Whether through the haunting lyrics of King Crimson, the anthems he co-wrote for pop icons, or his introspective poetry, Peter Sinfield left an indelible mark on the world of music and art. Shel Talmy, August 11, 1937 to November 13, 2024, was an American record producer, songwriter, and arranger whose pioneering work in the 1960s left an indelible mark on rock and popular music. Best known for his collaborations with iconic British bands such as the Kinks, The Who, and the Easy Beats, Talmy introduced innovative production techniques that defined an era and inspired generations of musicians and producers. His legacy includes some of rock's most timeless anthems, including You Really Got Me, by the Kinks, My Generation, by The Who, and Friday on My Mind, by the Easy Beats. Talmy's meticulous attention to detail and ability to enhance an artist's sound without overshadowing it set him apart as one of the most influential figures in music production. Talmy was born in Chicago, Illinois, to Esther Butz and Isaac Talmy, a dentist. From an early age, he demonstrated a strong interest in both music and technology, gravitating toward early rock and roll, rhythm and blues, folk, and country music. His fascination with sound and recording began during his teenage years, further nurtured by an innate curiosity and a creative spirit. At the age of 13, Talmy showcased his intellectual prowess as a regular participant on the popular NBC television show Quiz Kids. Reflecting on this experience later, Talmy credited it with solidifying his determination to work in the entertainment industry after graduating from Fairfax High School in Los Angeles in 1955, where he shared the alma mater with notable figures like Jerry Leiber, Herb Alpert, and Phil Spector. Talmy began working in television. However, his career trajectory shifted when he joined Conway Studios in Los Angeles as a recording engineer. Mentored by Phil Yeend, Talmy quickly mastered the intricacies of 3-track recording equipment, which was cutting-edge technology at the time. Within days of starting his new role, Talmy produced his first record, Falling Star, by Debbie Sharon. His work at Conway Studios saw him collaborating with prominent figures such as Gary Paxton, Renee Hall, and members of the legendary Wrecking Crew, laying the groundwork for his future innovations in production. Talmy's approach to recording was characterized by experimentation and a relentless pursuit of sonic clarity. He and Yeend often devised custom solutions to improve the separation and balance of instruments in recordings, pioneering techniques such as using multiple microphones for drums, a practice that would later become standard in the industry. These early experiments with sound would prove invaluable when Talmy transitioned to the British music scene. In 1962, Talmy traveled to Britain ostensibly for a short vacation, but ended up staying much longer after securing a position at Decca Records. Armed with acetates of American recordings provided by his friend Nick Vennett at Capitol Records, Talmy presented himself as an experienced producer, impressing Decca's A&R head, Dick Rowe. Talmy quickly established himself as an independent producer, one of the first in the UK, and began working with various artists under the Decca label. It was during this time that Talmy discovered and shaped the sound of several groundbreaking bands. He produced the Kinks' third single, You Really Got Me, which became a defining moment in rock history, blending raw energy with an innovative use of distorted guitar tones. Despite persistent rumors, Tommy clarified in later interviews that the iconic guitar solo on the track was played by Dave Davies, not session guitarist Jimmy Page, who contributed rhythm guitar to the recording. Tommy's work with the Kinks yielded numerous hits, including All Day and All of the Night, Tired of Waiting for You, and Sunny Afternoon, solidifying the band's place in rock history. Another major milestone in Tommy's career was his collaboration with The Who. Impressed by the band's raw power and Pete Townshend's songwriting, Tommy produced their early singles, including I Can't Explain and the anthemic My Generation. The latter, with its rebellious lyrics and groundbreaking use of feedback, became a quintessential rock anthem. Tommy also produced The Who's debut album, My Generation, which showcased the band's explosive energy and innovative approach to music. Despite the success of their collaboration, a contractual dispute with The Who's management led to a contentious split. Tommy retained the master tapes for My Generation, which delayed its reissue until 2002, when a settlement was finally reached. Beyond the Kinks and The Who, Tommy worked with a wide range of artists, including David Bowie, then known as Davy Jones, for whom he produced early singles like I Pity the Fool and You've Got a Habit of Leaving. He also produced the global hit Friday on My Mind by Australian band The Easy Beats, a song later covered by Bowie. Tommy's diverse portfolio extended to acts like Pentangle, Roy Harper, and Amen Corner, showcasing his versatility across genres ranging from rock and folk to pop and psychedelia. Tommy's production style was characterized by a hands-on approach, emphasizing collaboration with artists to refine their material and arrangements. He prioritized capturing the essence of a band's live performance while enhancing it with polished production techniques. His innovative use of microphone placement, multi-track recording, and creative mixing strategies set new standards in the industry. Tommy's insistence on isolating instruments and using unconventional techniques often challenged prevailing norms, earning him a reputation as a trailblazer. In addition to his work in the 1960s, Tommy continued to influence music production in subsequent decades. He produced albums for American artists like Lee Hazelwood and Tim Rose and collaborated with punk pioneers The Damned in the 1970s. After returning to the United States in 1979, Tommy maintained a selective but impactful presence in the music industry, producing records for bands like the Fuzztones and Hidden Charms. His contributions to the craft of music production were celebrated in the 2003 radio tribute on Little Steven's Underground Garage and through a series of compilations released by Ace Records in 2017. Tommy's personal life was as rich and multifaceted as his career. He was the elder brother of renowned linguist Leonard Tommy and a devoted father to his twins, Jonna and Stephen. Despite the challenges of declining eyesight, which influenced his early career decisions, Tommy's resilience and creativity remained undiminished. His death on November 13, 2024, from complications of a stroke, marked the end of an extraordinary life dedicated to the art of sound. He was 87. Tommy's enduring influence on music production and his role in shaping the sound of the British invasion remain monumental. His innovative techniques, combined with an unwavering commitment to artistic integrity, continue to inspire musicians and producers around the world. Nicolas Cage, born Nicholas Kim Coppola on January 7, 1964, in Long Beach, California, is one of Hollywood's most enigmatic and versatile actors. Over the course of his decades-long career, he has carved a unique niche for himself in the film industry, earning both critical acclaim and widespread popularity for his performances. Known for his distinctive acting style, eclectic role choices, and often larger-than-life on-screen persona, Cage's career has spanned genres ranging from drama and romance to action and surreal comedy. His journey is as much about his passion for storytelling as it is about his relentless dedication to his craft, making him a fascinating figure in modern cinema. Cage comes from a prominent family of filmmakers and artists. He is the nephew of acclaimed director Francis Ford Coppola and actress Talia Shire, and the cousin of directors Sofia Coppola and Roman Coppola. Determined to establish his career without relying on his family name, Cage adopted his stage name early in his career. He was inspired by the Marvel Comics superhero Luke Cage, and the decision symbolized his desire to stand apart and forge his own identity. This move set the tone for the rest of his career, as Cage continually pushed boundaries and embraced roles that allowed him to explore new creative territories. Cage began acting in the early 1980s, making his film debut in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982. Though his role was minor, it introduced him to the world of cinema. Shortly after, he appeared in more prominent roles, including Valley Girl, 1983, a romantic comedy that showcased his ability to bring quirky and unconventional characters to life. It wasn't long before he attracted attention for his commitment to his roles, sometimes going to extreme lengths to embody his characters. Early examples of his method acting include having 2 teeth removed without anesthesia for Birdie, 1984, and eating a live cockroach for Vampire's Kiss, 1989. These intense performances hinted at his fearless approach to acting, a trait that would come to define his career. Cage's breakthrough came in 1987 with 2 highly contrasting roles. In the romantic comedy Moonstruck, he starred opposite Cher as a passionate and unpredictable baker. The film was a critical and commercial success, earning him widespread recognition and demonstrating his ability to balance humor and intensity. In the same year, Cage starred in the Coen brothers' Raising Arizona, a quirky crime comedy that cemented his reputation as an actor willing to take risks with unconventional material. The 1990s marked the peak of Cage's career, during which he delivered some of his most iconic performances. In 1995, he won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in Leaving Las Vegas, in which he portrayed an alcoholic screenwriter who forms a complex relationship with a Las Vegas prostitute, played by Elizabeth Shue. The film was a critical triumph, and Cage's performance was hailed as raw, vulnerable, and deeply affecting. This achievement solidified his status as one of the industry's most talented actors. Following his Oscar win, Cage ventured into blockbuster territory, becoming one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. He starred in a string of action films that defined the era, including The Rock, 1996, Con Air, 1997, and Face/Off, 1997. In these movies, he showcased his ability to blend dramatic gravitas with over-the-top action hero antics, earning him a loyal fan base. His role as Castor Troy in Face/Off, opposite John Travolta, remains one of his most memorable performances, celebrated for its sheer audacity and intensity. Despite his success in big-budget action films, Cage never abandoned his love for character-driven stories. In 2002, he starred in Adaptation, directed by Spike Jonze and written by Charlie Kaufman. Cage played dual roles as screenwriter Charlie Kaufman and his fictional twin brother Donald, delivering a performance that earned him another Academy Award nomination. The film showcased his range and reminded audiences of his talent for navigating complex, layered characters. Cage's career has not been without its ups and downs. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, he faced financial troubles, reportedly due to extravagant spending and poor financial management. As a result, he appeared in a number of low-budget and straight-to-video films to pay off debts. While these movies were often critically panned, Cage's dedication to his roles never wavered, and his performances frequently stood out, even in otherwise mediocre projects. This period earned him a reputation as a hard-working actor willing to tackle any role, regardless of the project's scale or budget. In recent years, Cage has experienced something of a career renaissance, earning acclaim for his work in independent and genre films. His role in Mandy, 2018, a visually stunning and brutal revenge thriller, was widely praised for its raw intensity and emotional depth. Similarly, his performance in Pig, 2021, where he played a reclusive truffle hunter searching for his stolen pig, was lauded as one of the best of his career. The film demonstrated a quieter, more restrained side of Cage's acting, reminding audiences of his ability to convey profound emotion with subtlety and nuance. Cage's eclectic filmography reflects his willingness to take risks and embrace unconventional projects. Whether he's playing a treasure hunter in National Treasure, 2004, voicing Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, 2018, or portraying an exaggerated version of himself in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, 2022, Cage's work is marked by a sense of adventure and unpredictability. He has consistently defied industry norms, carving out a career that is uniquely his own. Beyond his acting, Cage has pursued other artistic endeavors, including directing and producing. His directorial debut, Sunny, 2002, starred James Franco and explored the dark underbelly of the adult entertainment industry. Although the film received mixed reviews, it highlighted Cage's interest in telling unconventional stories. Additionally, he has been involved in philanthropy and is known for his passion for comic books, exotic animals, and rare artifacts. Cage's personal life has also attracted significant media attention over the years. He has been married multiple times, including high-profile marriages to Patricia Arquette and Lisa Marie Presley. He is currently married to Riko Shibata, with whom he welcomed a daughter in 2022. Despite the challenges and controversies he has faced, Cage has remained a resilient and enduring figure in the entertainment industry. Nicolas Cage's legacy is one of boldness, creativity, and dedication. He is an actor who has never been afraid to take chances, whether in his choice of roles or his approach to performance. While his career has had its share of highs and lows, Cage's passion for storytelling and his commitment to his craft have made him a beloved and iconic figure in cinema. With each new project, he continues to surprise and captivate audiences, solidifying his status as one of the most intriguing and unpredictable actors of his generation. Thank you for watching. We hope this tribute helped keep the memory of these legends alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories. Until next time, take care and keep their legacies in your heart.